Welcome to Sanctuary Stories, a new regular look into Project Chimps, a sanctuary for former research lab chimpanzees. I'm Jeremy K. Gover, marketing manager of Project Chimps, and with me is Brandon Bump, donor relations coordinator and former chimp care staff here at the sanctuary. Brandon, thank you so much for doing this.
Of course, my pleasure.
Just your insight is going to be valuable here. You can actually see some chimps in the yard, which we'll get to here in a second. Brandon and I will be giving you a live look inside one of the three habitats every other week here on YouTube, answering your questions in the live chat whenever possible, and giving you insight on the chimps as well. And again, with Brandon's, former chimp care career, it's great to have him here. He can talk about them with authority. We're thrilled that you have joined us today. We are located in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Georgia, where 101 former research lab chimpanzees call home. Harmony Villa is out now, and it just so happens that a guest has booked a lunch launch, so that should provide us with some great viewing opportunities today. Brandon, you want to explain what a lunch launch is for everybody?
Yeah, so a lunch launch is an add-on to our private tours. And what we allow our guests to do with that add-on is go up to a platform in our south habitat that overlooks South Habitat. And for whatever chimp villa is out on that day, we get to use a couple giant slingshots and shoot their lunch into the habitat for them.
Yeah, it's a really, really fun addition to a tour. You can see some chimps in the yard now. The platform there, 2 tires. There's a platform in the back left with some fire hose swings and ladders and things like that. There's actually a platform up in the trees as well. If I can move my cursor here, maybe I can show you where that's at. Maybe. Here it is, right about there. Somebody hides out of the trees. There's a platform there, a fire hose ladder here, et cetera, et cetera. So we're very excited to have you with us today at this live look. Now, Brandon, as you know, and the viewers might, Project Chimps being a sanctuary and not a zoo, the residents here can choose what they want to do. We can never guarantee you'll see anything specific on the stream, of course, here today, although you are. Or while you're in person, if you book a tour and you come by, again, we're in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Georgia, so if you're visiting anytime soon, come check us out. But in my 2.5 years with the sanctuary, I think I've maybe been on 2 tours that didn't see a chimp. So it's very, very rare, but it does happen. And that's all because they can choose. Right, Brandon?
Yeah, they can choose any villa that's got access to the habitats that day. Their doors stay open, so they can go in and out as they please, depending on weather, whether it's too hot, too cold, rainy, and even if it's directly sunny and pretty hot, sometimes a lot of the chimps will choose to stay in their villas where we do have it climate controlled.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is a live look inside the South Yard of the Peachtree Habitat. And in the habitat today, as we talked about, is Harmony, the Harmony Villa led by Alpha, Kareem. And you can see the other names of the chimps, of course, there as well. All of them in that villa are available to be out today. The yard is accessible to them. Again, whether they choose to be out there or not, it's a different story, but they seem to be are. You can actually see food flying sometimes from the side or from the top of the camera, which is really, really funny. But yeah, Kareem is the Alpha. And Kareem seems to be one of the, the most, one of the more adored chimps, I think, at the sanctuary for a lot of people. When I say people, I mean like guests and things like that, because he has got quite a past. If you are interested in his story, you can obviously go to, the projectchimps.org/meet the chimps, and you can click on his name and you can look at, all that you can read about him. But I will say that if you stop by the gift shop, there actually is a book written about him as well. My wife is a 3rd grade teacher, and she has been for 22 years. And for the past few years, she has chosen during the Jane Goodall module that they do. It's every year that they learn about Jane Goodall and the chimpanzees and all that stuff. And every year around that time, she reads that book to them because Kareem's story is a tremendous one. Brandon, I'm not sure if you actually worked with Kareem or not at all when you were in chimp care, but do you have any stories at all?
I did not work with Kareem very often. I think I had only worked with him maybe once or twice. I do know that he does love to play with the care staff that are working in his villa. He is also a very large chimp at about 180 pounds. but he's a phenomenal alpha. He only uses his size to remind his group mates that he's in charge, and he doesn't abuse his size and strength. And as a matter of fact, he loves to play with the younger female chimps in his villa, and kind of guide them. So Kareem is a favorite of our caretakers and visitors alike.
What villa did you work in mostly, Brandon? And what are some things you can tell the people about just your experience firsthand working with the chimps?
Of course. So Chimps Ahoy was the villa that I worked with most often. They are kind of my home villa, my heart villa, if you will. I created quite a special bond with a lot of the chimps there. Also, the villa that has just received as eighth um, 6 new chimps that came in from the research lab down in Louisiana, and doing some introductions. And so far, so great. It looks like everything's transitioning pretty smoothly, and they are really enjoying their time being finally at their forever home here at the sanctuary.
It's such an exciting time when we're able to bring new chimps to sanctuary. Obviously, be able to get them from the lab, bring them to
Yes, it
sanctuary.
is.
It's so fun to be a part of that. It's obviously stressful as well. There's a lot of things you got to do, but it's just a fun time because that's what the sanctuary is all about. The sanctuary is about giving these chimpanzees, again, the choice on a daily basis, right? What they want to do. If they want to go outside, they can go outside. If they want to stay inside in the climate controlled areas, where it's the heat of summer, and they're like, no, thank you, and they want to stay on the porch, maybe get some sun still, but it's air conditioned, and they can do that. In the winter times, January and February in particular, it's really, really cold. Maybe they want to stay in the heat as well. So they get to have that choice, that freedom to be able to go outside, be able to play with the other chimps if they want to do that. They can climb a tree. They can do whatever they want to do. Obviously, you can see the lunch flying from the top of the camera here. They can do all those things if they want to do them. We have several chimps that choose not to go outside very regularly as well.
Right, and I think one of the most amazing I've learned since working with the chimps is the different personalities and what different chimps like and don't like. We've got some chimps that love to sunbathe all day and stay outside, and it could be 90 degrees and they're enjoying themselves sunbathing. Whereas on the same exact day, some of the other chimps in their villa, they don't they're like, no, it's too hot for me. I want to stay in the air conditioning. And the same thing goes in the winter as well. When we get some snow, we have some chimps that love to go out
Yes.
and roll around in the snow and play in the snow and eat the snow. Whereas others look at the snow or touch the snow and they're like, nope, I'm going to go make a nest in my nice warm bedroom.
So when they do this lunch launch here, you saw one of the chimps move to the side there, all the way across the frame. What are they eating, Brandon? You run some of these lunch launches personally when book them and you're on site. What do you, not today, of course, but just in general, when you're leading those lunch launches, Can you kind of walk people through what the chimps are getting in the lunch launch via a slingshot?
Yeah, of course. So our chimps are fed fresh fruits and vegetables on a daily basis. For their lunches, they are served a nice little diverse selection of vegetables. So a lot of the things that we throw out during the lunch launch is things like kale, lettuce, onions. They love, one of the chimps' favorite foods is a nice strong white onion, just like we eat apples.
And people think that, like,
Eggplants,
obviously they relate bananas.
radishes is another favorite.
They relate bananas. Obviously, people think,
Say
oh,
again?
bananas. They say bananas, apes. But really, the chimps, one of their favorite foods is an onion, a whole, like an apple.
Right. Some chimps do love their bananas. Some chimps, it's not their favorite.
Yeah.
It is really amazing the different personalities and what each individual chimp likes compared to another. Rusty, our oldest chimp in the he's also in Chimps Ahoy. He is a fiend for so much so that a lot of the other chimps in the villa will peel an orange, eat the orange, and leave the peeling on the ground. Once everybody's done with their oranges, Rusty will go around and actually pick up the orange peels, and he'll scrape whatever he can scrape off the orange or the peels that the other chimps have left. And I have seen him eat a peel a time or two as well. So he is one chimp that loves his oranges.
It's so funny how I think people, they probably expect it if you pressure them, if you really think about it, right? But I think a lot of people are surprised that they're like people in the sense that everyone has their own personality, right? You have one kid, for example, who
Right.
loves apples, but they don't like it with the peel on them. And then you got another kid who'll eat it whole with the peel, but he'd prefer that they're cut into sections. And the chimps, they have those kinds of things, right? Like where one chimp will like to be fed via the hopper, one chimp would like their chimp chow twisted versus rolled, and all those different things. It's all the same.
Yep. And a great example of that is we've got chimps in 4 of our villas that will not eat their corn unless it's shucked for them. And then the other 2 villas that are in Chateau, they couldn't care less. They don't need their corn shucked for them. They'll eat it. They'll shuck it themselves. They'll eat it. But yeah, DJT, Harmony, Cedar Tree, and Chimps Ahoy all have to have their corn shucked on anytime we give them corn.
Okay, so a guest is visiting the Blue Ridge area. It's not as rainy as it is today, as you can see. And they want to book a lunch launch, Brandon. How do they do that? What's the process to do that?
Yes, you can go right on our webpage, projectchimps.org. You can search up how to visit the sanctuary. It's right on our main page. And then we have the tour section that's right under the visit the sanctuary. Will give you all the instructions on how to book a tour. Our private tours do start at $500, but they are up to 20 people. So realistically, if you can get a group of 20 people together, that $500 tours is pretty cheap. And then on top of that, if you would like to add the lunch launch, that is an extra $250. But again, that's for up to 20 people. So we are open to doing tours pretty much 7 days a week. We do ask that you give us, 48 to 72 hours advanced booking time, just to make sure we have the staffing and the volunteers available to lead the tours. And if you're doing lunch launch, you will probably be seeing myself.
That's probably true. Yeah, no, lunch launch is great. It unrivaled views of the habitat, obviously, to be able to go up there. And then, of course, just a bucket list thing that you didn't know you needed in your life, right? Is the fact that you get to, catapult radishes or celery or kale or whatever it may be into the habitat for the chimps to enjoy. And it's unbeatable, really, because it's something you just can't really do anywhere else, especially in the manner you're doing it. And so, yeah,
right.
Encourage you to come, go to the website. Go ahead.
You get such a close-up view of the chimps when you're doing the lunch launch.
Oh, yes.
I've never had a lunch launch where 0 chimps show up because they all like to eat. But I've had lunch launches where I've had 15 chimps come up for the lunch from Chateau. So there's a very opportunity to see some chimps up close, to kind of see their habits, see how they forage for food, which ultimately that's what the lunch launch does, is it kind of not forces them, but it reinforces their natural foraging instincts to eat, because they do spend a majority of their time in the wild foraging for food in general. So It encourages that. As fun as it is for us, it is also very enriching for the chimps as well.
Risa has a question here, Brandon. Are there any events coming up where you can visit for less? And I'll take this one as the marketing manager. Yes, there are actually. Okay. So you can do a private tour. Obviously, like Brandon said, $500 is where it starts, up to 20 people. You can add the lunch on top of that. Okay. And that's a whole thing that we offer year round. But if you're looking for a more budget friendly way to visit the sanctuary, you won't be able to do the lunch launch. But if you want to tour the sanctuary, see the chimps possibly right in the habitat, do all those things, right, you can join us for the Chimp Retreat event, which is an annual event the weekend before Halloween every year. It's I think it's $10 per child with a free adult. So if you have a family of 3, right, yep, 1 child and 2 adults, you can come for a grand total of, I think it's like $45, right? If you have 1 child and 1 adult, you get in for $10, and so on and so on, because each additional adult is $35. But the bottom line is all the proceeds, yes, even the ones that go to even the ones for the lunch launch, all proceeds go to the chimps and the sanctuary to enrich and make their lives better, and to be able to, run the sanctuary, all those things. And so it's going to a great cause, obviously. And the fact that you can come visit, for $10 a kid for Chimp Retreat, that's just one option. We also have Discovery Days in May. So if you're local, you can choose both of those dates or one of them, whichever one works for you. But if you're visiting the Blue Ridge Mountains, get your Halloween costume, right, and give it a dress rehearsal, right, for the chimps. I think Brandon can speak to this probably, and I'll just share a quick story. Chimp Retreat is not only fun for the kids and the adults to see their, the kids in the costumes and all that stuff, but the chimps, surprisingly enough, absolutely love it. They don't know why this little human being is dressed as Spider-Man. They have no idea why that is, and they find it very curious.
Yeah, all the different colors and the different costumes. Even on normal tours, when there are children there, the chimps do tend to focus on the children. They absolutely love kids. They'll, a lot of them will windows and kind of show off a little bit at the windows during the tours, especially if there are kids there. But then, yes, during our Chimp Retreat event, seeing the different costumes, it really piques all the chimps' interests, and definitely get a lot more chimp activity on those Chimp Retreat tours, just because it is something different that they don't get to see on a regular basis.
All right, so Brandon, you can see there's a chimp in that. See if I can use my mouse again. There's a chimp climbing this tree. It's up here on this platform, right? So, we can see it's raining. Do they care that it's raining? Is it like a human thing, or like, oh, I got to take shelter, or is it a personality thing? Doesn't really matter. Just depends on who the chimp is.
That is completely a personality thing. I will say more chimps than not choose to stay inside, but we do have a smattering of chimps that do not care if it's raining outside. And as a matter of fact, after a hot summer like we've had, sometimes the chimps do like to go outside when it's raining, to help cool them off a little bit, even though they are climate controlled inside. A little cooler outside. So yeah, really, like people, it really does depend on the chimp whether or not they want to go out in the rain. And as to speak to the platform in the tree there, so because our chimps have come from, they were bred and raised in a research facility, none of the chimps before coming to our sanctuary had ever been given the chance to learn how to climb trees. So we do have some chimps that have taken it upon themselves to climb some of the trees. Not all of the chimps have been that brave yet or comfortable yet doing so. So what our amazing staff and volunteers have done is built these platforms where the chimps can feel comfortable climbing up into the trees or at an elevated position, because chimpanzees are primarily arboreal. They do love to spend their times elevated in trees. So we've done that in our habitats so that the chimps can still get that feeling of being in the tree without actually having the worry of not knowing how to climb it itself.
If you'd like to learn more about the 101 residents here at Project Chimps, you can always go to our website and click on Meet the Chimps. Oh, we lost the stream there for a second. Give me 1 second here. I'll try to get that back up. There you can click on their name and read more about them, see their birthday, maybe what their favorite food is, etc. Give me. I'm just trying to vamp here for a second, Brandon, while I try to get the stream back up. Sorry about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we currently do have 101 former research chimps that have found their forever home. I will say that we do not receive any government assistance or funding. We rely solely on donations and sponsors of our events. Private donors basically makes up a very large portion of the proceeds we need to give these chimps their forever home. So that's why we absolutely love giving tours. We love speaking to people. We also have hiking trails along our sanctuary on the outsides where you may not get the chance or opportunity to see a chimp, but you will be able to hear them. And it's a very good option to kind of come to the sanctuary, see our property, and just enjoying the scenery. We do have an overlook at the top of our hiking trails that does look down into the peach tree habitat. This time of year, it's a little hard to see in there because of all the green trees, growth, and bushes and things like that. But it is an absolutely beautiful view, especially in fall and wintertime. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. And our website, you can pretty much find all of our upcoming events for this year and next year on our website. And you can also see where where you would be able to either sponsor an event, come to an event. We also have a sponsor a chimp program that starts at $23. And those proceeds go directly towards toys, blankets, treats, food, anything that they can that the chimps need or specifically want, because some chimps have preference in toys or preferences in treats, juice, things like that. So our sponsor a chimp program is a really good way to contribute to the care of these chimps. And with the sponsored chimp program, you'll receive a care package in the beginning. You can choose to have a chimpanzee plush in that care package, but you get a little bio and picture of the chimp. And then every 6 months, you'll receive updates of the chimp that you're sponsoring.
The weather seems to be, smiling on the sanctuary once again, thankfully. But one last question for you, Brandon, before we sign off for the day. And again, we'll be back here in a couple weeks. Do they get a serving of lunch outside of the lunch launch? So we talked about how the chimpanzees can choose to go outside. A lot of them do for the lunch launch because it's exciting. And again, that natural instinct of foraging for food, all those things. But let's just say one didn't. He said, I'm not going outside. I'm good to go. Like, what is the other meal option instead of the lunch launch itself?
So when we do a lunch launch, we actually only take half of the lunch up with us. So the chimps that do choose to stay inside or that choose not to participate in the lunch launch will be fed in their villas, either in their bedrooms or above their porches. So any chimp that does stay inside, they are getting the exact same food that the chimps get during the lunch launch. They'll just get it spread out over their villas.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We can't thank you enough for joining us today. This was our first of many bi-weekly live streams where we give you a live look at what's going on inside one of the habitats. Before you go, please click that like button and don't forget to subscribe, because when we go live again, you'll be alerted to that. We'll be back on September 19th, same chimp time, same chimp channel. For Brandon Bump, I'm Jeremy Kagover. Come visit us in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Have a great weekend.
Take care.